Oh, my good, faithful YouTube viewers and listeners. How you guys doing? It's the Jer Bear. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're staying healthy and happy and smiling and you're avoiding the COVID and you're doing all the things you got to do to mitigate the further spread of this virus going around. Today is Friday, December 11th, 2020. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for stopping by and for indulging me for a little while. I appreciate all the texts and the emails from all my friends who have been checking on me. I get text messages and emails like every day. People ask me, "How you doing? Has your condition improved? Has it worsened?" I'm happy to say I feel much better. And I know that Christmas is just right around the corner, and the COVID pandemic has really put a damper on an overwhelming majority of this year. And a lot of our traditional celebrations and gatherings and events have been canceled because of the COVID. And I'm just really, I'm thrilled that we are almost at the end of this year. We're getting closer and closer to the end of 2020. 2020 needs to get the fuck out of here. It needs to pack its bags and go. Because I'm over all this stuff. This COVID shit really just ruined everything. 2021 has got to be a better year. I'm looking for it. I can say that I'm actually gravitating towards a more happy-go-lucky attitude because I'm feeling great. I have overcome the COVID. And the people who text me and email me on occasion just to check on me or they joke around. I mean, people have been sending gifts to me in the mail, like a Secret Santa kind of a thing. They've been sending gifts to me in the mail. And it's like, where the hell is this coming from? Like, I don't recall ordering anything off of any website, but I've been getting gifts in the mail, like boxes of gifts. So to those people who have been thinking about me and keeping me in their positive thoughts and yes, even prayers, although I'm not religious, but I appreciate all of the warmth and the positive aura and the positive vibes and just wanting to know that I'm okay and I'm doing okay. And I'm happy to report that, yes, I am doing magnificent. I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. But I figured I'd do a little daily rant because, there are some things I need to, that I would like to discuss anyway. I don't need to, but I like to discuss. And I'll get right on it. Now, people have questioned me just recently about my, with Christmas coming up around the corner. They have asked me about my Christmas spirit. Okay, the fact of the matter, and I'm going to be dead honest with everybody, absolutely honest. I don't have a Christmas spirit. My Christmas spirit died years ago. And the reason for that is because of the fact that, it's a part of life. Nothing stays the same forever. Things change all the time. The only thing that stays the same is everything changes in life. That is an absolute constant that you can't avoid, you can't ignore. It's just the way life goes. People change, things change. You lose loved ones. Life changes the minute you lose people that you love, people who are near and dear to your heart. And that's a big factor in why I no longer have a Christmas spirit, because Christmas just reminds me of the people and the things that I don't have. And Christmas, for years people have been saying this, that Christmas is a commercialized holiday. It's all about how much money you can spend. And, that really and truly is the case. Like the Black Friday, that's evidence of that. People are actually literally fucking trampling over one another. They bum rush into the store. They literally knock the fucking doors off the hinges, just to get into the store to get one thing that they have a great abundance of. And you're only going to get one item. It's deadly, it's dangerous, and it's just downright fucking stupid. I never understood Black Friday. I never understood the holiday rush. The Friday immediately following Thanksgiving. Oh, let's, because all the deals, we can get good deals on things. Please, if you can spend thousands of dollars on something you really don't need prior to Christmas, why the fuck should you be concerned about things that are on sale on that particular Friday? You spend the entire year prior to Thanksgiving and Christmas and even Black Friday, you spend the entirety of the year dropping hellacious amounts of money on shit that you really don't need. So why should Black Friday be the exception? Suddenly everybody wants to be greedy and they want to be frugal in their spending when in fact they've wasted an overwhelming majority of the year spending hellacious amounts of money on shit they don't need? Really? Is that what you're saying to me? Like, come on. It's really fucking strange to me anyway. But I don't have that Christmas spirit anymore because everything that Christmas used to mean to me has disintegrated. It has just dissolved in thin air. Like it's not there anymore. The people that I loved and cared about, the people who made Christmas what it was. And when you're a kid, when you're a child, Christmas is always magical. To wake up in the morning and to wake up to a great big fucking Christmas tree with a bunch of presents underneath of it. That's the when you're a child, that is the joy of Christmas. Now for most people, like people who have children particularly, their greatest joy is seeing their children wake up on Christmas morning or Christmas Eve morning or whenever you decide to open presents. We always open presents on Christmas Eve. That's how we used to do it. But I think the greatest joy for the parents is seeing their children's joy. See, I don't have kids. Now, if I had children, there's a good chance that I would get my Christmas spirit, refreshed. There may be that chance that, my Christmas spirit would be restored if I had kids of my own. Just to see them wake up on Christmas morning in their PJs and go bum rushing for the tree. And they just can't wait to open their presents. That I understand. If I had kids, but I don't have children. So, for me, Christmas is just another day. It is a bah humbug situation for me. I could give a fuck less about Christmas. Most people look at it from the religious side. Oh, it's Jesus' birthday and this, that, and the other. I really don't care if it's Jesus' birthday or not. I'm an atheist. I don't care if it's your imaginary friend's birthday or not. I sincerely and truly don't give a shit. But I don't like to be a downer on anyone else's Christmas spirit or their holiday. I don't want to spoil everybody else's good time just because I don't like Christmas anymore. I don't prefer it. But that's everybody has their reasons for celebrating whatever it is they want. Whether they want to look at Christmas from a religious side or if they want to look at Christmas from the commercialized side of things. I just hate Christmas. I fucking hate Christmas. And I know many people out there hate Christmas for whatever the reason may be. For me, it's not because I'm an atheist and it's Jesus' birthday. I don't hate Christmas because of the religious side that people want to throw onto it. I hate Christmas because there's a certain magic that I used to feel that I no longer feel. It just brings back pain and misery and depression. The holidays don't have the same effect on everybody. So while I am considerate of other people and they have this jovial experience with Christmas and the holidays, there's still a lot of people out there who don't feel the same way. I'm one of them. And the only thing I can say to those people, if you want to, celebrate Christmas because of Jesus or God or whatever it is that you celebrate Christmas for, birthday or whatever, that's entirely up to you, and I'm not going to judge you for that. That is your reasons for celebrating. But all I can ask is that for those of us who don't give a fuck about Christmas, for whatever the reason may be, please respect our feelings. Please, from a distance, say, you know what? Jared doesn't like Christmas, and that's okay. We're not going to shove our, cheery holiday disposition down his throat. If he doesn't like Christmas, if it depresses him, we're not going to, foist it onto him. We're going to let him just do whatever he wants to do. Christmas is another day to him. Leave it alone. But I'm not in any way attacking religious people because they want to celebrate Christmas, regarding Jesus or God or whatever. I'm not attacking those people. Like I said, you can celebrate Christmas for whatever reason you want, for whatever reason you see fit. But for most of us, I can't speak for everybody, but mainly myself, for me, the magic is gone. It's been gone for many, many years. I just see no reason to celebrate it. We don't even put up a fucking tree. I haven't erected a Christmas tree in, I lost track of time. I don't even know how many years it's been since I last put up a Christmas tree. We don't put up decorations. We don't put up lights. We don't get festive in any way whatsoever. We don't celebrate Christmas. Now, in my dad's situation, because he doesn't get to see his grandkids. The grandkids are scattered, and they're, the mothers are pissed off at my brother. For whatever the reason may be, I don't want to get into that too much. But the holidays depress my parents because they don't get to see their grandchildren. I know that's what it is. They've actually said this to me. They've actually vocalized their feelings to me, and they said, well, you know what? For me, it's because I don't get to see my grandchildren. If my grandkids came over, if I got to see my grandchildren, I would put up a fucking Christmas tree. I would put up lights. I would decorate this house so much to the point where it would look like a mini Bronner's Christmas Wonderland. The kids would love it, but I don't get to see my grandkids say, you know what? Fuck Christmas. I don't care. And collectively, I know that's how my parents feel. Because, like I said, they vocalize that to me many, many times. We don't care about Christmas because we don't get to see the grandkids. Now, there actually is another aspect to it. There's another side to it why I really don't care about Christmas. It's not so much the magic that, just kind of dissipated. It just kind of vanished in thin air. And it kind of has to do with the commercialism, as I pointed out, but there is actually another aspect. There's another side to it. For the past 7 years, of course, everybody knows that I was an advocate for childhood cancer cures and raising awareness and things like that. It is very difficult for me to be this happy-go-lucky individual knowing that there are children out there who are needlessly suffering at the expense and at the hands of cancer, of a disease where either there's no cure or these children have so much time left to live. It fucking rips me apart inside knowing that there are children out there who are suffering needlessly and helplessly. They are defenseless in combating this shit, and children love Christmas, and when I see and when I know that there are children out there who are suffering every fucking day of their lives, fighting something that they didn't ask for, I'm sorry, I cannot be a happy-go-lucky person knowing that, it's Christmas time, all your aches and pains from the chemo and all the puking and hair loss and this, that, and the other, just shrug it off, it's Christmas time. I'm sorry, I can't fucking do that. I cannot do that. I cannot turn the other cheek and say, you know what, I'm just going to pretend this isn't happening, and I'm going to put on a smile, a great big fake smile. I'm going to act all happy-go-lucky. I'm going to put on a wonderful show. I'm telling you, these children did not ask for this. A part of me wishes I wouldn't have deviated from the cause, but because of that very fakery that I just pointed out, the fakery that goes on, and people who are using this to improve and sharpen an image of themselves, they don't represent me. And the one thing I got sick and tired of is the pageantry and the stardom and this praise parade that every time someone does something good, they put it on Facebook and they got to get their praise and their notoriety. Like insecure people. The children fighting cancer are more mature than these grown adults. I'm telling you, these kids don't give a fuck about trying to look good. While the children only care about trying to live, trying to survive something that's really fucking lethal, the parents or the adults are more concerned about looking good and putting on this wonderful facade. They're using this because they need to feel like they are the star of a show. It's not a show. It's not a fucking show. And because I wouldn't fall in line like a brainless, mindless sheep where I have to praise and worship and adhere to these particular individuals who think that they're the kings and queens of all moral superiority, they ousted me because I would not fall in line. Because I would have no part of that. They don't represent my thoughts or my feelings. I have always done my own thing. When I first started advocating in 2013, I was naive and I said, you know what? If we're going to call this a community, then let's all band together and work together as a community. Let's make something of this. Let's try to bring out something. Let's foster change. Even if it means being a tad bit, disobedient in a civil manner, at least for the most part we can foster change. We can make something happen. We can mitigate this idea that childhood cancer is rare. We can obliterate that completely. But see, the problem with community, because it's such a loaded fucking word, that these people who for years have been preaching childhood cancer community, and perhaps still do, because I'm not on Facebook, I don't see it, I can almost assure you that these same people, the very people who are calling this childhood cancer a community, deep down, they really want it for themselves, because we have a sheep shepherd mentality. There are cults within the childhood cancer demographic, and people think I'm just blowing smoke up their ass. I'm telling you the truth. Anybody who wants to, they're on power trips, and they want to lead a particular demographic of people. Anybody who wants to be a leader and try to tell people, they have an agenda, and then they try to foist their ideas onto everybody, in which case we all have to fall in line and adhere to it. That to me is a cult. When you have full control over other people. And the one thing that I know, it just irritates the fuck out of the people in the childhood cancer world, most of the people now, because most of them, they look at me as an enemy. They look at me as public enemy number one, which is fine. But they hated it because I would not allow myself to be controlled. Whatever it is, these people have an agenda. And I refused to abide by their rules or their thoughts or their ideas, because they don't represent me or my thoughts or my ideas. And all these people who are now coming out saying, well, there's no evidence that Jared has ever done anything good in his life. But there is evidence of that. The people who I have helped directly and the people who shall remain nameless, they know that I did what I had to do. I had done my part in helping them, and I did help them directly, behind closed doors. Not everybody knew the situation. I did a lot of volunteer work. Not everybody knew the situation. Not everybody knew what was going on. The things that I had actually done physically to help the kids, to help the families, none of that was ever leaked. It was never, out into the open. Some things were like, you get a glimpse into what it is I've done over the years. Like, okay, Jared volunteered at some hospitals. Jared got involved with charity, like fundraising events. I drove all the way to Columbus, Ohio. I drove all the way to out by Mount Clemens, between Mount Clemens and Port Huron, which is in southeast Michigan. I had driven all the way out to Grand Haven to Pizza Hut. I had done so many. I had made so many different appearances at so many different fundraising events that most of the shit never got leaked. Like, most of the people, you don't even know half of what I've done within, from 2013 on. I'm not an advocate for childhood cancer anymore, but I can tell you that I have done an extensive amount for people. I have helped people tremendously. Those people know who they are. But the reason I never put it on Facebook, the reason I never bragged about it on social media, is because of the fact that if you really and truly understand integrity, then you would know that you don't need to put it on Facebook to get your pat on the back. Because integrity, real integrity, is when you help people with no strings attached. It doesn't matter if anybody's watching you or not. The whole idea of getting your fame and your popularity is irrelevant because you only care about the people. You're not trying to make a name for yourself. You're not trying to gain stardom. There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of narcissism going on in the childhood cancer world. And yes, I have mentioned on numerous occasions before that Tom Mitchell is one of the biggest narcissists there is in the childhood cancer world. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But I only went by what I observed. His behavior was very observant by me and many other people. Now, the fact that he jumped on the bandwagon because, let's be real. Most of these rumors and gossip, all the shit that's being said about me on Facebook, it's retaliation. They can talk, but they can't back themselves up with proof or evidence of any kind whatsoever. And I know Tom is listening to this, and I know a lot of his sheep are listening to this too. If Tom would have said, you know what, you guys are saying all the shit about Jared, but you have no way to back up your proof, you have no way to back your shit up with proof or evidence, so I'm not going to believe this. If he would have said that, if he actually would have said something worth the damn, I would have maybe, there would have been a small chance that I would have respected him just a little bit. But instead, a guy who wants to be viewed as a leader, he wants to be revered, he wants to be, Captain Kindness all day, every day. What he did was he jumped on a fucking bandwagon and he went along for the ride with the shit that's not true, which makes me see for myself how dishonest he really is. And I know a lot of his people are listening to this, and to tell you the truth, I don't care. Because if any real man would say, you know what, you guys are saying this, but I don't see evidence anywhere of wrongdoing at all. All the shit you're saying about Jared, it's wrong. You don't have to like him. And that's fine. You don't have to like me for whatever the reason may be. Nobody has to like me. There's no requirement. There's nothing written in a contract that says you have to like Jared Fuller. I don't care if you don't like me. But the very thing that Tom Mitchell could have done, if he was anything of a man, what he should have said was, you know what, you guys are saying these things about him that you haven't demonstrated to be the case at all. You have not provided evidence that would support these claims. And it's wrong what you're doing. You should not be talking about him like that. But no, instead, he jumped on the bandwagon. And all these people who claim to be my friends, who are also friends with Tom Mitchell, are saying, well, it really disappoints me that he would do that to you. Okay, so then my question after that, my follow-up would be, why not be disappointed in him? Why not be disappointed in the person who's propagating this shit? Instead of saying, well, I'm mad at the situation. Well, that's fine. Be mad at the situation. But you should also be mad at the people. Well, I have nothing bad to say about them because of yada, yada, yada. No, because you have this image in your fucking head that Tom Mitchell, among many other people, and I don't want to pick on Tom Mitchell. I don't want to make it sound like I'm picking on him. But you have this image in your head that somehow, some way, he is the pinnacle of perfection. And I'm telling you that that is just simply not the case. You're fucking wrong. Outrageously wrong. Ridiculously wrong. And the fact that his narcissistic behavior always tends to bleed out somewhere, whether it be in his advocacy or, oh, I'm working very, very closely with the Michigan State Police because we got a case on Jared. No, you fucking don't. No, you don't. There is no case on me. So what you've done again, Tom, further, is that you have fucking lied. Again. You want people to respect you and revere you You want people to look at you as an honest man. You have fucking lied because you have jumped on the bandwagon. And all these people who have ever told me the greatest lie ever, which is, hey, Jared, I'm your friend. And I call it a lie. It's the greatest lie ever told. Because if you were really and truly my friend, you would grow a fucking backbone and you would stand up and say, how dare you say this about Jared? How dare you? I'm not putting anybody in a position where they have to pick and choose, well, it's either me or him. That's not it. What I'm saying is you have the fucking evidence right there in front of you where people are being dishonest. They are trashing my name, and if you call me your friend, you're not defending me. What kind of friend are you? The greatest lie ever told. Well, you're my friend. I care about you. No, you care about a persona. And I always kept it real with everybody. Now, granted, I had to be a people pleaser, or at least I thought I had to be a people pleaser, because of the fact when I was on Facebook, I was friends with kids. I was friends with young people, so I really had to watch my P's and Q's. I had to, really make sure that I wasn't saying anything too forward or inappropriate, because there were children on my Facebook, on my Facebook friends list, and I'm still friends with their parents. I mean, I talk to them every so often, but I had to make sure that anything I posted was civil. I had to make sure that everything I've ever posted was, appropriate for the people. I was a people pleaser, especially for the kids. I was a people pleaser. Now I'm not on Facebook. I have my YouTube channel. I could give a fuck less. The way people behave on social media, because there's no barriers, there's no boundaries. It is a free-for-all for dishonesty, misinformation, gossip, and emphatically, what Facebook does is it mirrors the hypocrisy. Facebook is like the fire. It's the gas on the fire. And Facebook more or less just fans the flames of misinformation and gossip that I have been a target of harassment for a long time now. And the irony is these people who are accusing me of being so, I'm a stalker and I harass people and I do this and I do that. The very things that they're accusing me of doing, they are fucking doing to me right now. But you don't see me whining about it. You don't see me complaining about it. You don't see me wanting to make a fucking federal case out of everything. Simply, what I do is I handle things differently. And I say, you know what? I don't know who those people are. They emailed me with some stupid shit. And I just blocked the email address. Which, by the way, Tom Mitchell, I blocked your email address. So don't email me ever again. Because I'm not going to get your email and I'm not going to respond to you. You can fuck off. But these people who are emailing me, trolling me in email, I just simply block their email address and I say fuck off, and I move on. I get on with my day. I shrug it off. And the thing that the most disappointing thing about all of this is the fact that I expected better from these people. I expected 100% better. We're all in a situation that, your kids are sick. Okay? And I understand that situation, what your kids are going through. This is why it fucking breaks my heart. It tears me up inside, because the people that I bent over backwards for, I stuck my neck out for a lot of people. And most people don't know this. I have done so much for so many people. And they never loved or appreciated me for me. They appreciate what I did for them. They appreciated the gesture. If I was working in their favor, then they would say to me, "Oh, we appreciate you, we love you, blah blah blah." No, you didn't. You didn't love me. You loved the fact that I could bend over backwards and serve you. That's what you loved. So let's be real. Let's be honest about this now. And I know I've rambled on a lot about that, and I always say, I'm never going to speak about childhood cancer again, but it does resurface. There's always that lingering pain that I felt, because no matter how good a person I was to everybody, no matter how much I did, and no matter how hard I worked, to help people, they were the most unappreciative, ungrateful motherfuckers in the world. And I let my heart get attached to people who just didn't care. And especially around the holidays, when I know that there are children who are stuck in a goddamn hospital and they would much rather be home for the holidays, that tears me up. I know that's what's going on. And I want to reach out to those people, but they don't want me to reach out to them. They don't want me having anything to do with them. Why? Because instead of thinking for themselves, they let Facebook and other people do their thinking for them. They try to make the gossip and the rumors, they try to make this shit so strong and so believable that they don't even bother to question anything. It's like, where's your fucking evidence? Where's your proof? Well, we don't need that. Yes, you do. You most certainly do. And I'm going to argue that until the end of fucking time, until all the shit blows over, which I highly doubt if any of it's going to blow over. But especially around the holidays, when I know that these kids are stuck in a fucking hospital, they want to be home, and they can't. Because they have to get chemo, they have to get radiation, they have to get some kind of treatment. Something's going on with their, they're in remission or whatever, and then they relapse, and then they got to go back to the hospital and start the same shit all over again from beginning. That is the hardest thing to have to deal with. So I'm sorry if I don't share in your collective, wonderful, happy-go-lucky, cheery disposition of the Christmas holiday, but it is very hard for me to be happy-go-lucky when I've been treated like absolute shit this entire time. People I thought I could talk to, people I thought I could trust, people I thought that I could have open conversations with, and I still talk to a lot of people. I mean, I'm still, I talk to a lot of people all the time, daily. I have conversations with people. But it really frustrated me more than anything that so many of these people, an overwhelming majority of the people that I used to talk to, they want nothing to do with me because they view me as a creep. And like I said, a lot of that shit was propagated by someone whose head is in the fucking gutter every single day of his life, and he goes by the name of Russ Boggs, who is pretending to be Jack L. Karstens on Twitter. He's pretending to be Justina Banks on Facebook. These accounts need to be shut down. And he's awful lucky he lives far enough away from me where I can't reach him, where I can't put my fucking hands around his scrawny neck, because there would be hell. It would be an all-out duke. I'm not a violent person, but Russ deserves to pay for what he's doing in one way or the other. He deserves to pay, even if it means getting physical with him, where I kick his fucking teeth down his throat, which is what should happen, because nobody else seems to care. No one else seems to be jumping to my defense. Instead, they look at it and they believe it without actually finding out the truth. People are just, they don't have brains. They're not smart. It's awful. The thing is I couldn't be controlled. Not yesterday, not today, sure as fuck not tomorrow. And that's the thing that really upsets a lot of these people, is that Jared Fuller does what Jared Fuller wants. As long as he's not harming anybody, which I haven't. I've only tried to do good for everybody. I don't make up stories about people as a form of retaliation just because I don't like them. So if we're going to talk about moral superiority, yeah, I don't jump on bandwagons. I don't make shit up about people that I don't like. And on that regard, on those terms, I actually am morally superior than those people, because I don't engage in childish bullshit. I don't make shit up about people I don't like. I don't jump on bandwagons. I don't believe things without evidence or proof. I have matured beyond these people. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, because I'm not. I've made lots of mistakes. I fucked up in my life, but I've never been in jail. I've made lots of mistakes in my life. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But the goal is to, if I make a mistake, I profit from that mistake and I do better than I did prior to that. I do better the next time. And I know that this is a mistake and I learned my lesson and now I'm going to do better over here. How many people from the child of cancer world, even on Facebook, how many people, especially Tom Mitchell, Milk Tyson, Ronnie Duvall, anybody, Tim McBride even. Now, I don't have any beef against Tim McBride. I've never spoken to Tim McBride. But Tim McBride, he raises money for a lot of the charities, a lot of the nonprofit organizations. Okay, cool. But when my friends start referring to him as a saint, that's where I take an issue. He's not a saint. Okay, he's just a person who raises money for nonprofit organizations. That's it. I don't have any beef with Tim. I don't have any beef at all with him. I've never spoken to him a day in my life. I know that some of my friends have referenced Tim McBride. Seems like an okay guy. Seems like an okay dude. I've never spoken to him, like I said, but to call him a saint, that's where you lose me, because there are no saints. When you're putting people on pedestals, that's where you run into trouble. Why don't we ever question any of these people for their wrongdoings, for their fuck-ups and their mistakes in life? We know about Ronnie Duvall being a cokehead, and, he's got a drug problem. Sarah Elizabeth, that she goes by Sarah Elizabeth on Facebook, or at least she did, she exposed the shit out of him, putting his court documents on a Facebook Live video, really calling him out and just putting it all out there. So we all know about Ronnie Duvall and how he is a fraud who leeches off the backs of gullible, feeble families who are desperate. They give him money so he can travel the United States. I don't know what he's up to now. I don't follow him. I don't care. I don't pay attention. But all I know is he is a slimy, leeching motherfucker who has profited from gullible, unsuspecting people. Milk Tyson is the same way. Milk Tyson has a nonprofit organization called Fighting All Monsters, but he is a sex predator, so if we're going to be fighting any monsters, we should be fighting him. He admitted, as I have put out on my YouTube channel, that he admitted to sexual harassment. That is predatory behavior, and people who are constantly defending him and saying, oh, he's amazing, he's a saint, he's a this, he's a that, you are just as fucking equally disgusting as he is. And if we're not friends anymore because of what I just said, then that's your loss, because I don't associate myself with creeps. And the fact that you do makes you just as much a creep. I mean, he talks to little... the last time I was on Facebook when I saw this, I don't know if it's an ongoing, continuing thing, so I don't want to give it too many legs to stand on, but the thing is he was talking to a young cancer fighter. I'm not going to give her name, but he was talking to her all hours of the night unsupervised. It's like, where the fuck are the parents of this child that he's speaking to? Why is he up late at night talking to her, and he's telling this little girl's telling Milk Tyson, oh, I love you, and blah, blah, blah. It's disgusting. I've seen the screenshots. It's gross. Okay? It's disgusting. And these people are just oblivious to this. They're blind to it. They don't give a fuck. And that's what I'm speaking, that's what I'm speaking up about. The people who don't give a fuck and they don't look into things, you know what? Maybe you should. You want to make a big deal about me? Well, why don't you start making a big deal about him while you're at it? Although with Milk Tyson, there's evidence to prove that he's a pig and a slime bag. Who else? Tom Mitchell. Again, he's just a narcissist. These people who think that they have this image of him in their heads that he can do no wrong, that he's somehow like this great savior of moral superiority, and look how he acts towards me. He jumps on a bandwagon. He goes right along with the lies. He is a dishonest piece of shit who should not be revered, and you shouldn't give him a fucking dime. You know what? Let him suffer. Let him suffer. Yeah, well, Jared, he's suffered enough, he lost his wife and his daughter. Well, you know what? I'm sorry about your luck, dude, but that's no excuse to treat people like this. You know that it's wrong, and you fucking went along with it anyway. So don't call yourself the captain of kindness or savage kindness or whatever kind of bullshit you want to pull over people's eyes. Pulling the wool over everybody's eyes with your fucking fakery. I saw through it, and that's what pisses you off. And I can see through all of it. And, there's people who, they're straight up dishonest. They want to pull the wool over your eyes. They want you to believe that they're good people, they're honest people. After the shit that these people post, they want to jump on bandwagons about shit that's not even true, never happened. There's no evidence to support the claim. That makes them dishonest. Now, why are you not getting upset? People who call themselves my friends, I want to know why you're not getting upset and disappointed at the person. So is Tom Mitchell like a no-fly zone? We're not allowed to be disappointed in him. We're not allowed to be angry or frustrated with him. We're not allowed to not like him. Because that would be like, he's a cult leader. So that would be like committing an act of blasphemy. It's a bunch of fucking horse shit. It is a mess. The childhood cancer world has trash from one end to the other. People are dishonest. They're fucking nasty. They will lie about you. They're just straight up rude fucking people. Not all of them, but most of them. All the Still Brave crowd, Tom Mitchell included, they're fucking nasty people. They're nasty. They have no scruples. They have no morals. They go along for the ride. It's a mob mentality. The fact that they can't justify their claims with evidence, to me, it's just fucking mind-boggling. CJ Scorpion is another one, which, by the way, it's not his real name. I mean, he went on record on Facebook as saying that he was married to a child molester. And, I didn't know that she was like this. Bullshit. You mean to tell me that being married to someone like that for so long, you're not going to know that they're acting the way they are, that they're not sexually abusing your child? You mean to tell me you didn't know this the whole time? I call bullshit. I call bullshit on that, because the thing is, you knew, you come out with this just recently. That tells me you knew the whole time, and you just let it happen. And then you attach yourself to these babies and these little kids, and you call them your littles. They're nothing to you, motherfucker. And the fact that you hit on a 17-year-old when she's fighting cancer, and you know who I'm talking about, and you're still hitting on her, you're old enough to be her dad. What the fuck are you doing? Like I said, there is absolute trash from one end of the childhood cancer world to the other. These people get mad at me because of the fact that I can see through all that shit. I can see through it. I'm not a fool. I'm not an idiot. They don't like it because I'm always one step ahead of them every fucking time. They don't like it. Elizabeth Comfort Deaver and Andrew Stevens, Russ Boggs, Tessa Miser, Carrie Rickman, Debbie Carver, all these good-for-nothing pieces of garbage. What do they have to do but sit around on a fucking internet website and talk shit about people they don't like and make shit up about them that's not true? I don't give a fuck what your situation is. That does not permit you to behave this way. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what? I will be back in New York eventually at some point. And I'll probably announce it. That way, if you think you're going to come to the airport and start shit with me, there will be a fleet of security guards just waiting. Because people of authority will be notified. I'm not going to tolerate you or your fucking bullshit. But rest assured, I will announce when I do make it back to New York, and when the COVID shit is, draws to a close, and, it's safe to fly again. Guess what? I will be coming back to New York. And I'll even give you my location. I will give you all of my information. If you think you're going to come to the airport and start shit, I'll tell you exactly where I'm going to be and when and for how long. Because I'm not one that you're going to fuck with anymore. I'm done. The childhood cancer world is trash. And while I still, like I said, there's a lot of people that I still keep in contact with, and I love them dearly. They check on me periodically. They email me. They text me, and I appreciate that. But the thing is I deviated from the cause. I never deviated from my friends. I never walked away from my friends. Most of the people who've ever said to me, "Oh yeah, well, we're your friends, you know, we love you," that's the biggest fucking lie they ever said to me. The biggest lie. And I don't like to fight with people, but they made this into a confrontational issue. I never wanted to fight with Elizabeth Deaver. I never wanted to be enemies with her or Andrew Stevens. Andrew Stevens is a young kid fighting cancer. I didn't want to be his enemy. I wanted to be his friend, his confidant, someone he could talk to if in fact he had a question or something he wanted to ask me. But his mom is allowing his behavior. She's encouraging it, which, by the way, you suck as a mother if you're going to allow your kid to misbehave and treat people like shit. You deserve everything that comes your way too. Hate to tell you, but you do. But I'm not going to sit here and say that Andrew deserves to have cancer, because he doesn't. He doesn't. I don't know if Andrew is listening to this. I don't know if his mom is listening to this. I really and truly don't care either way. But Andrew can hate me, or he can say anything he wants to say about me, and that's perfectly fine. But it sucks that he's got cancer, and I wish he didn't have to go through that. I really wish he didn't have to. I still care. I don't want to see something dramatically go wrong with him, because he is a kid. But his behavior is inexcusable, and his mom for even allowing it is fucking inexcusable. It's wrong. And I don't want to fight with people anymore, because the shit has drawn on for far too long. But it's a disgrace. The people are disgraceful. They have no honor. They have no pride. And if they do, and if their pride gets hurt, that's what they're whining about. They're bitching about it because, he's questioning my whatever it is I'm doing. Big fucking deal. People question everything I do all the time. I live in a world where I can't tell someone that I love them without someone associating love with sex. I just had this discussion with someone not long ago. I have lots of friends, both male and female. They're my friends. I consider them my very good friends. I tell them I love them all the time. Why? Because there's a good chance, there's always the open possibility that either one of us might not be here in the next 5 minutes or 5 days or 5 years or 5 seconds even. The time to express your love is now. The love has nothing to do with sex, and everybody likes to, associate love and sex. They like to put it together like a hand and glove. They want to put it together because it always means the same thing. You can't love people without, there's some kind of a sexual feeling or a sexual desire against this person. No, there's not. There isn't. There just isn't. What I'm saying is, I have the capabilities of loving people, my friends, in a non-sexual way. That is possible. Because I'll let you in on a little secret. I'm not a virgin, and I have enjoyed sex with a woman without being in love with her. So there you go. So you can have one or the other on its own. I love people unconditionally. Lots of my guy friends, I tell them, I love you, brother, It doesn't mean that I'm gay because I'm into women. It doesn't mean that I'm gay, and even if I were gay, it's not a big deal. Who cares? The thing is when I express my love to my friends because, like I said, the future is not promised. So now is the time to express your love and to put it out there that, people do matter. Because they care about you, you care about them in return. And I don't have a problem telling people that I love them. There is no sexual anything going on. Now, when I would write poems for kids, and this is the murky waters part of the issue, is that anytime I would write a poem for a kid fighting cancer, I would always say at the end, I love you, or much love, or something. The word love would be used. And you would have the most just vile people. Their minds are always thinking sexually. Their minds are constantly in the gutter. Their mind immediately goes to sex anytime the word love is used. And it's like, that's not what that is. That's not what that means, and that's not the idea that I had behind this particular piece of literature, this poetry that I had written for your child. That was not my intention. But you're assuming that it is because the word love somehow incorporates with sex. And it's like, that's not the case at all. And then, when this comes out where, okay, well, I think this means sex, and now I got to get everybody inclined to believe that it's sex. I have to get these people to think the same thing that I think because we're supposed to be hating on Jared Fuller. So there's more dirt that people try to dig up on me, and it's like, you people are fucking stupid. You mean to tell me that you are incapable of showing love without sex? Love does not mean sex. It just doesn't. And that's always been my quibble with these people, is that they cannot distinguish, they can't separate love and sex. It's always got to come together. And those people are fucking idiots. The mere fact that they cannot separate love from sex is their problem. I have lots of friends. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. There's people I know in the entertainment industry. I tell them I love them all the time. And they say, and they say, we love you too, Jared. We love you too, and we hope you're doing okay. I don't look at that as anything sexual. It's not sexual. Loving someone and expressing your feelings and your sentiment towards people, that's got to that's got to be going on all the time. Because what's going to happen when that person is no longer here, or what's going to happen when you are no longer here? You can't say it, you can't hear it. You can't feel it, you can't give it. You can't receive it. There is no connection anymore. These people who, they fear death all the time. I don't fear death. I'm not afraid of it. Because the idea behind that is death puts my focus more on life. That I know, intuitively I know that someday this is all going to come to an end. I'm not going to live forever, and I'm okay with that. I don't want to live forever. But while I am here, I want to make a positive impact on people. The people that I associate with. Whether they be young people or old people, I want for people to know that, you know what, I'm not perfect. I've made lots of mistakes in my life, but I am capable of doing the right thing. I am capable of love. I am capable of understanding. I am capable of empathy and compassion and all those warm, fuzzy, positive feelings. I am perfectly capable of this. I want you to know how much you mean to me now while I'm still here and while you're still here. I cannot let for this fear of what are they going to think about me telling me that I love them. I can't let that get in the way. Because if I let that get in the way, I'm not living. And if those people let for words like love to get in the way, they don't have a life. They're not living. I don't want to hurt anybody. That was never my intention at all. I have no dirty, disgusting thoughts about kids. Like they've all been saying this for years. It's just simply not the case. And tirelessly, I have been trying to get people to understand this. And eventually it just came to a point where I just said, fuck it. I have nothing to prove anymore. I said what I needed to say, and that was it. That was the end of it. Now, if you're still going to go on believing that I would actually think that about a kid, or I would write something suggestive about a child, you know what? That's your fucking problem. That is your problem. But I have never, in all the history, in all the years that I've been writing, even when I was a kid, I never wrote anything provocative or disgusting. Not towards a kid. Or not about a kid. Nothing to do with children. And when this rumor surfaced that, Jared asked a kid if chemo made their pubic hair fall out. When that rumor surfaced, I'm thinking to myself, what in the fuck? Like, okay, first of all, I would never ask a child such a disgusting, derogatory question like that. And secondly, I am very well aware of what the fuck chemo can do to anybody, not just children. I am very well aware of the effects of chemo. Why would I ever need to question that? I would never need to question anybody about what chemo does to them, because I've had chemo. It fucked me up royally. So why would I have any desire to ask a kid, does chemo make your hair fall out here? What is it? Why would I even ask the question? I know what chemo does. And I don't sit and think about parts of the body that chemo affects. It's just ridiculous. People are ridiculous that they would even come up with something like this. And there's just way too many holes in the story. I got so aggravated that I just got up and walked away. Well, that's a fucking bunch of bullshit, because if some grown man was asking your kid an inappropriate question, and if allegedly this happened on video chat, first of all, you would have an audio recording, you would have a screenshot of my face, and we would know the kid's name, we would know the names of the parents. And why didn't the parents file a police report? Why didn't they report me to the authorities right then and there if this supposedly happened? I just asked all the important questions. There's no evidence of that anywhere. And the fact that somebody like Tom Mitchell, who's supposed to be this trusted, revered individual in the childhood cancer world, that the mere fact that he would jump on this bandwagon and he would be such a fucking liar and perpetuate this lie, it has destroyed every shred of decency and honesty and integrity. He has stripped himself of that. And if you still think that he is an honest, decent man with integrity, you're lying to your fucking self. Because anybody in a position of quote-unquote leadership would not jump on a bandwagon like this. It just wouldn't happen. Not anywhere. Anybody with brains would say, you know what, you guys are saying all this shit about Jared. I have not seen one shred of evidence anywhere that Jared has ever said this. I have no evidence anywhere that this ever happened. It's really, it is a mess. This is why, that's why I'm just not a part of that anymore. I deviated from the cause because the people are fucking atrocious. The people are disgusting. They are immoral. They have no scruples. They think it's okay to toy with someone's life. They think it's okay to run someone's name into the ground without consequence. It's wrong. I have never, one time in my life, done anything that would ever have me put away. I have never hurt a child. I have never hurt anybody. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. And now that Christmas time is coming around, I think of all the people that I would still be friends with had they had brains of their own and had they actually looked at something and examined it instead of saying, well, all these people are saying it, so that kind of freaks me out. They would actually say, well, these people are saying it, but I'm not seeing evidence for this. I'm not seeing any kind of proof. Like, where and when did this happen? Do you have anything that would demonstrate to me that that is the case? That doesn't happen because these people don't have the brains. I'll tell you what they are. They're sock puppets. Someone can shove their hand right up their ass and get them to say and think anything they want them to say and think. These people are just mindless puppets. They don't know how to think for themselves. And because they knew they couldn't reach their hand up my ass and get me to say and think things that they wanted me to say and think, I became public enemy number one. I am perfectly fine with that. And these people say, well, they're friends with me, but they're friends with Tom Mitchell. Well, you know what, Jared, you have a right to be upset. You have a right to be angry. Okay, thank you for stating the fucking obvious, but why aren't you upset with these people? Why aren't you taking issue with Tom Mitchell? So is he like untouchable? Is he like a restricted area where we're not allowed to be upset? We're not allowed to get angry or frustrated? He sent me a fucking picture, a canvas picture in the mail, saying, "Oh, Jared Bear's number one fan." He did it to be antagonistic, and I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's cute. I shrugged it off. I just let it roll off my shoulders. Like, yeah, what a dumb fuck. That he wasted $11.55 just to send me something that I'm going to throw away anyway, and saying I love you on the fucking picture. Despicable human being. You call yourself a leader, but yet look at the way you're behaving. This is not the behavior of a leader, of a true leader, of someone who understands integrity and honesty. You know none of that. You know nothing of honesty and integrity, because if you did, you wouldn't jump on a bandwagon and you wouldn't act like a fucking man-child. You would grow up and act in a mature manner. You would at least be man enough to say, you know what? Jared Fuller has an opinion about me, that's fine. He can have whatever opinion he wants, but the problem is it's actually a fact. And you've demonstrated that. You've illustrated my point, Tom. Just like all the rest of you motherfuckers who want to say that you want to point fingers and accuse me of doing something or saying something that was never said and done, but you are a puppet. You will believe and jump on a bandwagon. You won't actually stop long enough to say, wait a minute. All these people are saying this. I don't know why all these people are saying this, because I have not seen evidence that would demonstrate to me that this is in fact true. But I probably should believe it anyway, because, all these people are saying it, and all these people just wouldn't say it. Well, you would be fucking wrong. If they have a personal vendetta against me for whatever the reason may be, majority of those people, I don't even know who the fuck they are. I've never spoken to them a day in my life. But they seem to they seem to know how to professionally hate someone that they don't even fucking know. I mean, it should be obvious to people. It should be that fucking obvious. But instead of fighting with people on this and trying to get people to understand logic and critical thinking, I let them do backstrokes and stew in their own ignorance, and I say, you know what, I wipe my hands clean of you, I wipe my hands clean of the fucking child of cancer cause. You people are savagely disgusting, immoral pieces of shit, and I want nothing more to do with you. End of story, end of discussion. And that's what I do. I walked away. But I gotta tell you, there, again, like I said, there are people that I still speak with, and they speak to me. They have that open communication with me, and I'm grateful for that. Because they were at least smart enough to look at things logically and critically and not be so quick to jump on a bandwagon and judge people that they don't know. Well, why are all these people saying this? Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Why are they saying it? Because they haven't been able to demonstrate their fucking case. They haven't been able to add the truth value. They haven't been able to, put validity into their claim. So my question is, why are so many people, you say, why are so many people saying this? Okay, so then why are you dumb enough to believe it? And that goes for everybody. That goes for anybody who's ever believed a rumor about me without actually proving that is the case. The child of cancer world is toxic as a motherfucker, and I don't feel sad or bereft not being a part of it anymore, although there are lots of people that I still think about. I love them. I miss them. And I wish they would have given me a chance to explain to them what the situation was. But see, I became public enemy number one, that Jared Fuller is just this awful guy because he says the fuck word. He uses such vile language. You know what? So does every other motherfucker in the childhood cancer world. So does Tom Mitchell. So does Milk Tyson. So does Ronnie Duvall. Everybody swears in the childhood cancer world. Everybody swears in the world in general. Do you honestly think you live in a world filled with sunshines and rainbows and lollipops? You are fucking sadly, sorely mistaken. You're living in a fucking dream world. I mean, you people really need to get with it, you know? I mean, I'm looking at this note right now from a Wilms warrior. He sent this note to me earlier in the year. I think it was quite a few months back, and he was recently in Cincinnati to receive treatment, and I'm thinking about him a lot today. I'm looking at this note he sent me. It was actually a happy birthday note, so he sent it, probably like in June or July or August or something. I don't even remember the day, but I'm looking at this note, and he drew me this heart, and it's really sweet. It brightened my day, and I know that this particular kid is having such a rough time. I don't want to fight with people. I don't want to get people angry, but sometimes, because I've always walked my own line. I've always carved my own trails. I've always found my own way, no matter what I had to do. I don't want to fight with people, but I'm not going to put up with people. You don't have to agree with anything I say in my videos. You don't have to. You don't have to like me. I don't care that you don't like me. Chances are good that I probably ain't going to fucking like you either. But I'll be damned if I'm going to make shit up about you in retaliation. I have never done that. I would never make up a lie about anybody. Even my worst enemy, Tom Mitchell, I would never make up a story about you. Never. I would never make anything up about you because I am more mature. And I sure as hell would not jump on a bandwagon if someone else came to me and said that you were this disgraceful, disgusting, disturbing human being. I would say, you're out of your fucking mind. Because you would have to demonstrate to me that Tom Mitchell is in fact all of those things. See, I wouldn't just go and believe something, Tom. Because I am far more mature than to jump on a fucking bandwagon and look at a rumor and say, well, this is what he said. He was saying this and saying that. Oh, and by the way, I'm working very closely with the Michigan State Police. You know what? Good for you. Good for you. I hope they show up at my house because, as I pointed out many times before, I'm going to fucking publicly humiliate them, and I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel so the whole world can see how I mopped up the floor with law enforcement, because I'm not going to be intimidated, and I'm not going to have people showing up at my house because of a lie, because you don't like me, so you got to come up with some bullshit lie to get back at me. That's not going to fucking happen, pal. I'm telling you. Not going to happen. But I've been here for quite a long time. I just wanted to come on here and just kind of get some things off my chest. But the holidays really just they depress me because of all the shit that I've had to go through, the people I've lost, the people that I really and truly loved and cared about no longer, they don't want contact with me anymore. It's sad. And I figure now I just have nothing left. I have nothing else to lose. I came out publicly that I'm an atheist, and I know a lot of people, they weren't very enthusiastic about accepting that. But the thing is I'm not shoving it down anybody's throat. I'm not shoving my atheism down anybody's throat. I'm not throwing it in their faces. And by the way, atheism does not mean that I worship the devil. The atheism that I'm referring to is I have no evidence that a God ever existed or that he does exist. And if he does, he would know what it would take to convince me that he's real. That hasn't happened yet. Maybe perhaps it'll never happen. I'm not saying there is no God. I'm saying that I'm not convinced as I look at the world around me, and I like science, so I'm always listening to what the scientists have to say. In their voyage of their discovery, the scientists, they're not seeing evidence of a God either. And I kind of, I go by what the scientists say. Because they give us not an absolute truth of the world and the universe, but they give us a model that science can explain. Science is like the best thing we have that tells us about our world and our universe. It's like the best toolbox we have to determine what's likely true or what this is what's going on. So I'm an atheist in regards to I don't have enough evidence that would ever suggest to me that a God exists. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not shoving this down anyone's throats. I'm not throwing it in your face. And by the way, it's not the same thing as worshiping the devil. Because I don't believe in the devil either. There's no evidence of a heaven or a hell or a devil or a God or a Jesus or whatever. There's no evidence for any of this. And I just don't believe in any of that stuff. My mom, she's a Christian. She's not too enthusiastic about it. But I'm trying to look at the world in a more logical, critical way. Because I know that my time is limited on this planet, and that the people that I've met along the way through the years, all the friends I've made and all the people I've lost, I at least want them to know that I've always been honest with them, and I have always taken the best logical approach at everything, whether it be childhood cancer, whether it be the rumors, whether it be anything. I have always done the absolute best I could. And that's really all anyone can expect. And I go by evidence all the time. It doesn't matter what it is. Evidence is going to tell you what's true or what's not true. That, you say this, but evidence kind of shows otherwise. I don't care how you feel. The evidence is showing that that is not the case. Your feelings are now irrelevant to this because the evidence is pointing to this. And when I tell people, when I say, I don't care what you think or what you feel, what I'm saying is, and it sounds condescending, and it probably is, but that's not my intention. When I say, I don't care what you think or what you feel, the earth is fucking round, it's a sphere. What I'm saying is, I don't care that, we have the evidence to show that the earth is an oblate spheroid. I don't care anymore that you think or feel that the earth is flat. I don't care about your feelings regarding that. Because what you feel is irrelevant. We've got evidence showing that this is the case. And it's irrefutable. You can't debunk that. There's evidence for it. It's a done deal. We know that the earth is an oblate spheroid. It's spherical. And sometimes I get confronted with people who say, well, I just think the earth is flat. Well, you can think whatever you want, but you're going to be fucking wrong. I want you to honestly look at things from an honest, logical, evidentiary standpoint. But anyway, guys, I have really, I've been here for over an hour. I've really just sat here and rambled on and said a bunch of things. Listen, I want for everybody to get along. I want for people to just be honest. If you don't like me, fine. I don't care. I'm not losing sleep. But god damn it, don't come up with shit that's not true and then perpetuate it to other people and try to pass it off as true. I know Sarah Hancock is doing this shit. They've got this Exposing Fake Cancer Pages group, right? Or it's a Facebook page. I know that they think they've got me, it's like gotcha. They got me by the tail, so to speak. They don't have anything on me. Nothing at all. The same with fucking Nikki Scott, She's got nothing on me. These people who think that they've got something on me, they have nothing on me. It's just these people refuse to grow up. They don't know how to act maturely. And every so often, I have to remind them that they are not in fucking high school anymore, and now you gotta grow up, and now you gotta be an adult. It's ridiculous how people behave. Just like, Danielle Clokey, Another one. I used to get along with her. I used to talk with her all the time, and then she bought into the fucking lies, and now her dumb ass is believing everything she's told. Fine. Be stupid. But the door's always open for an apology. Although I may not ever get an apology, the door will remain open if you feel mature enough and adult enough to say, you know what, Jared, I was wrong to think this way or to even say this about you or to believe any of this without proof. I'm sorry. Would you please accept my apology? And I would consider that. That goes for Andrew Stevens. Same thing. If Andrew actually emailed me and said, Jared, I was wrong for acting the way I did, and I do apologize, would you accept my apology? The chances are very favorable that I probably would. Because, Andrew, if you're listening to this, like I said, you don't have to like me, dude. I don't care. But your behavior is very unacceptable. And I'm sorry that you're going through the shit you're going through. I don't care if your mom likes me or not. I don't care. I just don't. But I am sorry that you have to go through the shit that you're going through. It's not fair. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I would have never wished that on you. And if you want to make amends, it's never too late to make amends with me and say, look, I'm sorry that I treated you this way. I was listening to what everybody else was saying. I didn't actually look into things enough to know the truth about you. I don't have any ill will against you, Andrew. I don't even have any ill will against your mom. I just want to bury the hatchet. I just want to put all this behind me. I just want to be done with this shit. It's childish. This can't be good for people who are going through, I know it's not good for people who are going through treatment. I don't care if what people have to say. I just don't care. I only care about what can be demonstrated with evidence, which no one has been able to provide evidence of any kind whatsoever. And Andrew, I extend my hand to you. If you're listening to this, if you're willing to make amends and bury the hatchet and try to smooth things over again, and if you want to reach out to me and talk, I have no problem with that. Your mom has my email address. I don't have any issue with smoothing things over and just talking and just trying to be friends again. But if you're going to be rotten and awful, then forget it. And same thing goes with your mom. Forget it. If you're going to act vile and disgusting, then I want nothing more to do with you. I just don't. But as a mature, responsible adult, I'm extending my hand to you. The offer's on the table. Let's start over. Let's try to, repair whatever it is that fell apart along the way. Let's just get along. Let's just be friends. Even if we're not friends, we can at least get along. I hope you would agree that even if we don't actually become friends again, at least what you could do is be more respectful. And I will be more respectful to you and your mom. But that's a give and a take. Respect is something you earn. It's not something you demand or request. But like I said, I extend my hand to you as a man, and I hope it's something you'll think about. Because I don't want to fight with people anymore. I want this shit to be done. I want to get along with everybody, but there's just some people out there who don't want that. And I am willing to make amends with people if they are sincerely looking to bridge the gap. whatever it is that happened before that got us arguing or fighting or whatever the case may be, I just want to bury the hatchet. I don't want to fight with people. Life is too fucking short to be doing this shit. And I know you've been sending me, you were sending me shit in the mail a long time ago. Okay. It's water under the bridge. I'm over it. But really what I would like to do is just, I want to bury the hatchet. I would just like to be friends with you. I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to fight with your mom. It's just that, we're not getting any younger. Nobody's getting any younger. Life is too short. And to tell you the truth, Andrew, I honestly want to see you beat this thing. I want to see you kick cancer right to the fucking curb. I really and truly still, a part of me still cares about you enough that I want to see you beat this thing. You don't have to believe my sincerity. You don't have to believe me that I'm actually genuinely being nice to you and I'm just trying to be, the bigger person and reach out my hand and say, look, let's end this. You don't have to believe my sincerity. You don't have to believe my authenticity. You don't even have to believe that I'm being genuine. But honestly and truly from the bottom of my heart, I want you to get better. Your mom can go on hating me, I don't care. You can go on hating me, I don't care. But the fact of the matter is, I want you to get better. And I don't want to fight with people. I want to see you kick cancer's ass once and for all. But anyway, guys, I have been here for quite a long time. Thanks for listening. And by the way, thanks for checking out my video that I posted called How to Pronounce Michigan Names. I hope I got most all of them right, maybe a majority of them correct, in the pronunciation. But I figured it was just a little video I put together to kind of, educate some out-of-state people who look at a map of Michigan and they're like, well, how the fuck do I pronounce that name, I know I didn't get to them all. There's only so many I could get to, because of the time constraints. But, yeah, so thanks for watching and listening to my videos, and thanks for indulging me for over an hour with this daily rant. I'm willing to bury the hatchet if other people are willing to do the same. And if we can we don't even have to be friends, but if we can just get along and not bother each other and not berate each other and just come to an agreement on some things. If we can meet each other halfway, I'd be happy with that. And the same goes with Tom Mitchell. The same goes with Tom Mitchell. Tom, if you're listening, man, we don't have to be friends. We don't even have to speak to one another. But if you're willing to bury the hatchet, so am I. But after the way you behaved and after the way you acted, I have this other view about you now. So I don't know if that would ever be possible. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. Okay, but that's up to you. But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I gotta go. I got things I gotta do and places I gotta go, people I have to see. So, much love to all of you. Thanks for listening and indulging me for over an hour. And I will see you in the next whatever it is I upload to my channel. So, stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, and please do what you have to do to mitigate this COVID, because we are, we're at a point now to where we have this shot called Moderna. Hopefully we get to the end. Maybe there's some light at the end of the tunnel and we can all go back to our normal lives and we can just do what we did or get some kind of normalcy back where we can go out, we can venture out without being afraid, and we can visit people, we can go in restaurants, and we can sit down, and we can do all these things that we used to do prior to the COVID. We all have to work together. We have to work collectively. We have to make sure that we're looking out for one another, which means that you should always wash your hands. You should always wear your mask, and you should always maintain a distance of 6 feet, at least until this is over. Because I want this shit to go away just as much as you people do. I can feel it in my fucking bones. I want this to go away so we can get our lives back to some normalcy back in our lives. I honestly don't know if this is going to go away quickly or anytime soon, but if we can just stick to a specific precaution and protocol to make the shit disappear, and we can flatten the curve, we can flush it down the fucking drain, I'm happy with whatever, we can come up with to get rid of this. But please don't let your guard down. Please just continue to follow the rules, and we're all going to get through this together, hopefully. Hopefully. We will get to the other side of this. We will see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we will hopefully pick up on a life that we had prior to the COVID. So much love to all of you. I'm done, flapping my gums now. So I'll see you on the next one, guys. Toodaloo!